Hello and welcome to Delta Sparks Pod. I am Evan. This is Andy, aka Dewey Pop Pop, aka Shooter McGavin. You know, the finger guns.
Finger guns.
Shooter McGavin.
I'm proud of you. You know what? I'll allow that.
That took a full minute and a half for me to remember what I was going to say.
Yeah, a minute and a half of me sitting silently because Evan kept shushing me.
Yes, I'm like, it's almost there, and then he would say something like, "Shut up!" It has something to do. I like, who's that guy from Jurassic Park? The guy who connects things. Oh my God, why can't I remember his name now?
We just played this game.
We're not going to do this. But he connects things in the most odd way. They did a South Park episode about it. But literally I jumped from one topic to the next. I was like, milk comes from cows. Cows live in Canada. Canada is the land of maple syrup, but maple syrup is good on pancakes, which you can get at a golf course if they have a dining hall. Shooter McGavin.
That was quite the process.
Yeah.
Cows. Started with cat. Wait, are you saying I'm like a cow?
No. I was speaking to your udders.
My eyes are up here, Evan. That's funny you say that because Kim and I have been sending each other videos of super cute, fluffy cows.
What the fuck?
They're so cute. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah, I just opened up all the TikToks you sent me, and the one that really got me was the two potbelly pigs bouncing around to WAP. WAP, WAP, WAP.
Oh God.
So that's my life. So yes, hello and welcome to Delta Sparks Pod, where nothing makes sense and everything makes sense all at the same time.
The points don't matter.
The points don't matter, but negative 10 points to Dewey.
Oh man.
Because the points were secret. You failed.
Oh.
Step into my office.
Oh well.
Because you're fucking fired. I would be surprised if you can tell me what that's from. But we're not going to. I digress. So I got a lot of comments this week on my Seguis.
Podcast related or in real life?
Yeah. No. Podcast related. People were like, well, they were kind of compliments. They were just like, you make some really interesting word choices and
you
distinctions. Tilt your camera up or down just a hair.
I was gonna.
It looks like there's a guy on a fucking desert island, 30 knots out, who's shining a mirror. Oh, much worse. Much worse. Maybe turn it up. That's a little bit.
You don't need to see my dead.
Wow. Well, for those of you listening at home, Andy is currently really struggling with a light shining through the window. Now, by the way, this is episode 21. We've done 20 of these up till this point. You think she would have figured out, I don't know, curtains?
I am too poor for curtains.
You're renovating your entire. Well, Adam's renovating your entire kitchen.
Exactly. So that's where all of the money goes.
Listen, I will mail you a burlap sack, a pair of scissors, and 2 tack nails, one for each one of you and Adam's fucking heads. You can't figure out how to fucking put some curtains up.
Speaking of mail, have you got any mail from me?
No, I still haven't.
Oh.
I don't know.
Canadian Postal Service is failing me.
Yeah, I found it especially funny how I received my package from Kim before you did.
I know. Did you hear what happened with that too?
No.
So I obviously sent Kim money for what he bought me and for shipping.
As did I.
Of course. I paid an extra $40 on duty once it got to me.
You paid for duty?
I had to. They wouldn't let me pick up my package without paying an extra $40.
So what was why? What was the discrepancy? Why did you have to pay $40 more?
So I think it had something to do with the amount of duty that
duty.
Kim what he claimed he was sending me. So I don't know if it was something to do with how he put like regular price, not like the sale prices that he got for things. I'm not sure how that works. I don't understand the postal service.
So it was based off of the taxes on it or the insurance to cover in case it got lost?
To be honest, I have no idea. They just like, we get this little slip and they stick it to your door and they're like, by the way, before you can pick this up, we need $40 more.
You have to lick it before you stick it. I sent him at first when he told me how much he spent, I almost shit my pants. And then I did the conversion from Australian pesos to American gold. And I was like, oh, that's not too bad. And then I looked at shipping and I was like, okay, we're back to the original price.
Cool.
Yeah. But no, I didn't have to pay anything extra. I probably overpaid him, but then again, he did us a good deed. And then we hired him.
Continues to do good deeds for us.
Yeah.
Thank God somebody's taking care of us, AF.
Yeah, I feel like a lost lamb.
I feel like I don't know how we got through like 18 or whatever episodes without him. I don't know.
Apparently not with math, Andy.
I know we're at 20, but he's already been with us for a couple episodes.
That's true.
So you can kindly S my D.
Suck it. S my D. For the listeners at home, that's slap my donkey. Yes. So Andy, what's going on? How was your day? How was your week?
I had a bit of a rough day today, but I actually would prefer if you went first. How was your week/day?
It's been okay. I power washed my roof last weekend.
You sure did. I saw that.
And then I'm
surprised you weren't wearing a Speedo for it, to be honest. Is that in case you fell? Because
no.
She was like hurt on the like upper thigh butt area.
No, I'm still trying to like not let my full self out to the neighbors. So like hanging brain on top of your roof doesn't really like scream, let's have a barbecue. Plus
depends what your neighbors are like, I guess.
I know a few of them and I don't think they're hanging brain type of folk. And then so I did that, and then my wife went to a gardening store because her birthday is tomorrow. For those of you listening, Thursday, this past the 24th. And decided to buy like a couple $100 worth of plants. And then she comes home and she's like, hey, so by the way, the lady at the gardening store said there's this thing you can just spray on the roof and it kills all the moss and lichen or lychee.
Lychee is a fruit.
Lychee.
Lichen. I think lichen is
lichen. I thought that was the werewolves from that movie with the vampires and the werewolves and where they breed. I don't know.
We're not scientists.
It's math.
It's all math to me.
But something weird that happened to me this week. It was 2 days ago, I want to say. I'm on this job. I won't say who the company is that I'm working for, but they are a major watch manufacturer. Okay, like wristwatch.
Okay.
And this is like one of their international trade hubs / repair facilities. So there's a lot of merchandise in there, and safe to say, I have a security guard way up my keister every step I take.
Right.
I felt
he'd be interested in a barbecue with you.
Well, it was actually a she. And she, when like she saw some of the stuff I was doing, like, because I was getting dirty, physically, actual dirt, gritty grime. She was like, ew, that's gross.
Really?
Yeah, there was no way she was stopping me from stealing anything if I really wanted to.
Because you were so dirty she wouldn't touch you, or was she?
No, because she spent 3/4 of the time on her phone and the other quarter of the time staring up at the ceiling. I wonder how they got it all up there.
Oh my God.
But here's where it got weird. I had to poop. Okay. Now, whenever I have to go to the bathroom, she has to escort me out of one area, through a hallway, to the bathroom, which is directly across from this big glass room where they fix these like really expensive watches. And I kept thinking, she's going to know it's not just a pee.
How long do your poops generally take
hold on, it gets better.
Oh no.
Right before I told her I had to go to the bathroom, she started telling me a story about how 2 weeks ago there was another guy working there and he had to use the bathroom, and how she knew he pooped because he was in there for like 20 minutes and it was gross. He was disgusting.
You're like, well, lady, have I got a time frame for you?
I kept trying to like just hold it. I'm like, all right, I just got to hold it. And then I reached that critical mass point where it's like, I'm either dumping in a toilet or I'm dumping in my pants. Like my butthole just started doing that, like that kissy.
Were you, what is it, meerkatting? No, prairie dogging.
Prairie dogging. Yeah. Yeah. It was like those old school ice pops that like you squeeze from the bottom and they come up, but if you don't hold it, it goes back down. Yeah. It was kissing. So I just turned around. I'm like, I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. And then you know what? I'll go out the other door because I gotta get something out of my van, and then I'll just come. I'll meet you back over here, thinking maybe she would leave. Well, let me tell you, I ate this like multi-grain bread the day before.
That'll do it.
A couple of pieces, and it was like someone took a snow shovel and cleaned out my colon. Okay, it's not that I just sat there like reeling from the experience of what just happened. I literally shit for 15 minutes. Like it was like Morse code, like beep 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 beep. And I was sweaty. I was a mess. I was the human equivalent to hot sauce on a ham sandwich. And finally I came out, and it had to be like 30 minutes. I'm not even joking. Like I even had to Alabama wet wipe once. Yeah.
What does that mean?
So that's when you fold up some toilet paper and you spit on it so you can really clean, because it was a mess. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
That might be the grossest thing you've ever said on this podcast.
It was one of those shits where like if I was home, I would have just completely taken off all my clothes and gotten right into the shower.
Oh,
like I needed to be hosed down.
I didn't know if you were just getting naked to poo or what was happening.
I honestly would have. Like the heat was radiating so fervently.
Oh my! So
you're I come out
that bread from now on.
I mean, unless I'm need a good cleaning. We should get them to sponsor the podcast. Feeling backed up, colon cleansing bread. I came out 30
the only later. Official bread of DSP.
Yeah. Make your butthole wish it didn't. But yeah, I came out about 30 minutes later and she wouldn't look me in the eyes.
I feel like that's an appropriate reaction from her.
Yeah.
I am on board with that reaction.
So that's pretty much like how my week's been going. Nothing really too crazy to report. Poops on poops. But we did get some good news, didn't we?
We did.
Some future guests coming on, which I am just beyond excited about.
Yeah, now that you are on board, yeah.
Now that I'm on board?
Well, you didn't know who he was at first.
No, I knew who he was. I just didn't know how to pronounce his name.
Oh, okay. I
was like Brian Blumler? Baum. Actually, I wrote it down. I don't know if you can see this. Phonetically, because I listened to him say it. Baumler.
I can't see that, but I believe you.
Brian Baumler.
I'm proud of you.
Brian Baumler. He's coming on the old P-cast. We're going to be recording with him in a few days. For those of you who do not know who Brian Baumler is, he is the host of several different renovation project shows on HGTV.
Incredibly talented.
Yes. So that's going to be really cool. And then we have the gentlemen from Tradema who are going to be coming by. So that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
All this really fun stuff. Now tell me about your horrible day.
Okay. So my horrible day, it actually started off pretty good. So what we're doing right now is we have these like gigantic big machines coming into work, and these machines need their own special power. For those of you who kind of don't know what's going on,
what's the power it's requiring? What's the
I
voltage?
believe it's 600 volts. We're landing transformers on top. We're running 3s.
You're putting transformers on top of the
Of
machines?
each and every machine. Yeah. Each machine
Like
gets its own transformer.
literally on top of it or like above it?
Literally on top of it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's neat. I've never seen this done like this. It's pretty cool. So
Okay.
I'm learning lots, which is great. I'm learning about how to do this. And I really love my boss is giving me a lot of freedom with it. Like he's not micromanaging at all, which is really cool. Never really done anything like this. Never really worked with transformers much before. So I'm all excited.
I love
about
the
this.
movies.
Yeah, Optimus Prime, super great.
I'm Optimus Prime.
So I'm also getting a chance to work with another woman, which is the first time I've ever done that. And she's really cool. We get along really well, kind of the same sense of humor. We have the same kind of, we're on board with the same stuff. She has, her strength is a little bit more automation and mine's a little bit more construction. So we've been learning a lot off of each other. It's been really great working with her. I really, really like her. And so today she and I are working on like piping into these transformers. No problem. Like we know what's going on. We kind of have our plan of what we're doing. And then we have one of these bosses that comes over to me. And he says, okay, well, it looks like we might be changing this up a little bit. Sorry, not the bosses, a tech for we're installing these machines because we got 3 new ones, hence why we had to put these new transformers on.
The techs that are there to program and set up the machines. To
install the machine. So they're setting it up and making sure it works in the space, whatever.
Where are they from?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
Are they from Canada?
Potentially.
A lot of the time, the reason I ask, a lot of the time when I've done stuff similar, a lot of these types of installs, like the machines are coming from Germany or coming from Japan.
No.
And you have people coming over.
Yeah, I think they, to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where these machines are from.
Continue.
They're pretty cool. They're big, like kind of CNC machines, like
CNC?
So they're
or CNC?
Like, I don't think they are CNC, but they're like in a CNC shop, so they're along the same lines. I'm not 100% sure exactly what they do. Anyways, so we have our game plan of what we're doing for our day. So these texts come up and they say, because of how they want like the garbage like output of these like metal chips and scraps coming off of this machine, basically, because of where this new machine has the dump.
Hold on.
Switch machines so that it's not the new dumper. Okay.
So go from the beginning again because of where these.
Okay, count.
The 3, 2, 1.
So because of where these machines, how they're oriented, the new ones have these like dumpers for these scrap pieces out to the side of the machine, and the one that was previously installed that we're kind of mimicking for all of our.
You keep freezing
again.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
I'm plugged right into hold on, let me see if I can do something on my end. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right. One more time. Ready?
Okay.
3,
get me in.
2, 1.
So because of how these new machines are oriented with these like dumper for the scraps and the chips of the metal are on the side, which if in their new places, it would be out into the hallway. So one of our bosses kind of wants to like keep it a little bit more compact and have this like nice hallway, and he likes everything to be like have a perfect spot and like to be kind of equal along the same like the machines on different sides of the building and have like clear pathways, which totally makes sense. Like the floors are slippery. I appreciate that he is trying to like be aware and keep pathways clear and all that. So the one tech was like, well, it's a lot of work for us and for you guys to like pay our hours to be switching this side thing to the back. He's like, it's possible, but it's a lot of work. So what he proposed was that the machine that was previously installed, it had been there for however long, take that one, which had the machine or the dumper out the back, and just swap the two. So then their aisle's still clear. There's a dumper and everybody's happy. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like, let's do it that way. So he had us come up and he explained to us, like, okay, this might be a little bit more work for you. We basically just need you to unhook the power from this transformer.
Right.
So I'm like, cool. Sounds good. Disconnect bank is right there, like the switch to turn off all the power to these transformers. And I don't know what exactly happened, if it was a miscommunication or what was going through this guy's brain, but they hooked our 5-ton crane up to this machine before we had disconnected anything. And I was working right in front of the distribution bank with like probably 10 disconnects. And they started pulling this machine on rollers without disconnecting anything. And all of a sudden I'm up on an 8-foot ladder standing in front of it, trying to run pipe coming out of a different disconnect. And I hear this big bang. And we're like, what is happening? What just happened right there? Thank God somebody had cleaned out the machine and gone over and turned off the disconnect. Thank God. Because that guy pulled our pipe straight off the wall, almost pulled the disconnect off. Like, it was terrifying. I was right in front of it. And I just keep going through my head, like, what if that hadn't been turned off? Like, this guy, there was a lack of communication of some sort.
Yeah.
And this guy, like, he was talking about how he was supposed to be an electrician and like how he was working towards his hours, but he was missing a bunch of hours. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, I wonder why. Like, you're a cowboy. Like, you are just rammy trying to get your job done and get the hell out of here. Which, appreciation for not wanting to stay longer than you have to, but that could have been a catastrophic mistake.
Yeah.
On their part.
I mean, this episode of Delta Sparks Pod is sponsored by Chuckstar Leather Goods. Chuckstar Leather makes the ultimate upgrade for your hard hat. Chuckstar is a small family-owned company that designs, tests, and produces its signature Chuck Band elk leather headgear upgrade in Southern California. Their materials and supplies are sourced exclusively from specialty vendors throughout the United States. Chuckstar Leather Goods believes in creating American jobs and supporting the American worker. Stand out, look great, be comfortable. Chuckstar, your new standard. And we had a situation recently on one of our sites. We were installing, 6 gears and 6 huge, I think they were like 175 kVA transformers.
So that's a pretty big one for anybody who's just listening. Like,
yeah, that's like the size of a Ford F-150. And each gear was probably 4,000 amps.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Typically when we pull, we're pulling through the gear, the wires, we're pulling the wire through the gear, up through the pipe to where it has to go, which is, we were pulling to tap boxes for bus duct. And a lot of times the guys will like zip tie a piece of unistrut to some of the sharper corners. So that way when the wire pulls, it's not getting caught up and ripping and right. Nicking.
It has something a little smoother to use for the turn radius.
Mm-hmm. So one of our cowboys, who's a foreman for our company, was supposed to go through and make sure that everything was pulled out of all the gears, that there wasn't any strut sitting in anything or yada, 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 yada. Well, apparently he didn't do a great job. And one of the struts was laying across all 3 phases. Okay. Now, for those of you at home who do not know anything about electricity, your phases are your power, your hot. Okay, that's what that's what shocks you. When you touch 2 phases together.
Sorry, hold on. And 1 phase is generally enough to give you power for like your house, right? Or 2 phases.
Well, even more. Well, in homes you have 2 phases, but it's 120. At least here in the U.S., it's 120, 240. Okay.
Yeah, for us as well.
Right. These were 277, 480 volt.
So
Okay,
a lot higher, a lot more power.
Right. So when you touch two phases together or you make contact, that's how welding happens, right? That's welds. Okay. For those of you who do not know. When you touch it, when you put a piece of metal and connect two phases or three phases, okay, and it's not actually welding, it's not meant to happen. There's not the proper safety precautions and machinery. What happens is you create an explosion. So this piece of metal strut was laying across all three phases. And just so happens the guy I got into that altercation with a few weeks back went to turn the breaker on, went to throw the main, and it caught, when you throw the main on, you're actually pushing it in a downward motion on these. And he threw it down and it came back up and caught him in the chin, sent him flying, and basically destroyed the gear.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an expensive mistake.
Very expensive. So it's not just the movers, it's the people who just don't really take the time to think.
Yeah.
I mean, common sense isn't common anymore.
No. And it's funny. This girl that I was working with, as I previously mentioned, like she's a little stronger with the automation side and I'm stronger with the construction side. So I was kind of walking her through how to bend pipe, and we were like going through that and giving her some experience with that. So I was keeping half an eye on her. And then after this little thing, I was keeping half an eye on these guys, because I was like, I don't trust you guys. I don't know what the hell you're doing with the crane. I don't even know if you're like trained in how to use this crane now, because you didn't check it. You're using chains, like where whatever. So I was keeping half an eye on her and half an eye on them. And I'm just like, when I got home from work today, I was exhausted. And I feel like I'm babysitting without like babysitting. And like, I'm not even licensed yet. I was like, this is ridiculous.
It makes you feel better.
Like, should be licensed, but
I'm not licensed and I've been babysitting for quite a while.
Yeah, but you're basically licensed.
Tomato, potato.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
that's how my day went today.
But you also had something really cool this week.
Yeah, I did.
You and Adam's anniversary.
Yeah, we had our second anniversary yesterday, so on the 22nd. Also, Calvin had his second wedding anniversary on the 22nd as well. So congrats.
You guys got married on the same day?
Yeah.
Was it like a next to each other wedding, or did you like you guys like got married and then they came down the aisle and you just guys stepped to the side?
Yeah, we just like stepped aside, and I was like his like best man, and Adam was her maid of honor. It was really cute, really.
Man of honor, best maid.
Whatever. Yeah.
Somebody pointed
they were married
out
on
to
the
me.
same day.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Someone pointed out to me after the Delta Spouses episode that it was really funny that you and Adam have the same initials. Well,
you and Adam do?
Did you change your last name?
No.
And you're not going to?
Correct.
Okay, so you don't have the same last initials.
No.
But me and M do.
Right.
Which I thought was funny.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah. So what else happened this week? Anything fun? Anything exciting?
We're doing our kitchen. We got that going on, which is, I am seeing a lot of potential. Let's stick with that. It's not going nearly as fast as I would like it to, but I have unreasonable expectations. Like, because I used to work in renovations and I still work in construction. So I would see like kitchen stuff being done like super fast. But now, of course, both of us are at work every day. We're tired when we get home. Like,
oh yeah.
Of course, it's not going to be happening at the same rate, but I'm just like, I just want my pantry. And that's how I know I'm old now, because I'm like daydreaming about pantry.
Oh, you want to speak of old? In the last week or two, this is how I knew I was old. Last week, Sunday to Saturday, I had a virtual doctor's appointment for an ache and pain. I had a full depth, long conversation with an accountant
Oh no.
And like I said before, I power washed my roof. I think that's the trifecta of I'm an adult. And that's really
Yeah.
scary. It's
Yeah.
really scary.
You're a real grown up, Ev.
I'm not ready to be. I really
Yeah.
am not.
I'm not sure if the
Just,
world's ready for you to be.
I mean, apparently they just have to fucking deal with it. But no,
just like you do.
Yeah. But no, I mean, to the point of like, expectations, especially like home projects and stuff, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, everyone, whenever I tell someone like what I do for a living, they're like, oh, that's awesome. You probably like have so many like awesome things at your house that you've done and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, I still have a chandelier hanging over our dining room table that has a chain that's probably 6 feet long to where the box in the ceiling is, which the first thing I said when we looked at this house was that's got to change. I can't I can't as an electrician have a 6 foot long chain and cord. Still there.
Yeah. Well,
nothing's been done.
That's what happens in construction. You do it all day and then you don't want to do it when you get home.
Yeah, I could only imagine how bad it is for those married to porn stars. Not getting any.
No, poor guys.
So with that, I think speaking of porn, let's do just a tip.
Okay, you first.
Oh God. Just the tip. Just the tip. Make sure that you post on Instagram before you do any home projects, because you'll find out easier ways and better ways to do things. Apparently, after power washing my roof, a bunch of people told me you could have just sprayed this or that. Somebody told me put a copper strip at the ridge of your roof and it actually like kills anything from growing again.
That's neat.
I guess it is neat. I don't know if it's actually true. I looked it up. Apparently, it is true, but who fucking knows?
Sounds very sciencey again.
Yeah. So don't just do. Think, then do. Or think.
Do some research.
Do some research. Or fuck it. Just do it. You're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Just start, right?
Also, just a tip. Make sure your mom's not following you on Instagram when you post a video of you power washing your roof, because that's a fucking fun call to get.
Oh no. Was she worried about you?
My mom calls me and I'm like, hey, Ma. She goes, you son of a bitch.
Why this time, Ma?
Yeah. I was like, I know I ruined your life, but what now? How about you? What's your tip?
So my tip today, I had some fun with these machines that I was working on, and this is going to be a little bit more construction oriented. And so one of my tips that I learned actually a little while ago that I really, really, really love is, so I'm working on top of this machine, drilling holes, and then we tap holes to make it so that there's the threading for screws to go in. And so when I'm drilling these holes, there's obviously lots of metal shavings that are coming out. We're on top of these big machines. And so we have put rags and little things down to make sure that our chips and stuff are not falling into the machine and onto like anything that it could be damaging, or long run once it's powered up, making sure there's nothing going on there. Magnets, they are freaking awesome.
I was just going to say that.
Obviously, depending on what you're drilling into, because some metals don't stick to the magnet. But so I take my little magnet, good for whatever, 16 pounds or something, and I wrap a rag around it, and then I stick it almost right next to where I'm drilling. Everything gets sucked right into my magnet. And then I bring it over to the garbage can and I pull the rag off, and everything falls off the rag because you've taken the magnet away, so it doesn't stick anymore. You shake out your rag and you're good to go again. It takes like 3 seconds or something. So
vacuum also works.
Vacuum also works. But we were like top of our 8-foot ladder, didn't really want to haul the vacuum up. So this magnet did the trick for us. Also, we happened to drop a bolt into these same machines. What saved my butt? A magnet.
There you go.
So I didn't have to climb into the machine. We originally tried with that little magnet. We stuck them onto, we made like a string, like a daisy chain kind of thing of tie wraps to try and reach it. That didn't work. We ended up getting our like extendo stick with the magnet on the end, and we were able to fish it out. But yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys I work with, his van broke down yesterday on the side of the road, and me and one of the project managers met him over there because I was closer, and we were doing like a little shuffle, getting material out, moving it, getting it to the job that's nearby. And earlier in that whole process, my project manager tossed his van keys to the other guy and said, take the van. But as he's tossing the keys, there's a huge like storm grate,
no.
and he's like, he tosses his keys, and the guy's kind of fumbling, and then catches him. And the project manager goes, "Don't you fucking drop my keys down the storm drain after you ruined the van already."
Yeah.
And then
don't sneeze.
About 30 minutes later, guy comes back, tosses the keys back to the project manager. He catches him, goes to clip him on his belt, and fumbles and drops him down the storm grate. Let me tell you, I just started using the Klein measuring tape.
Yeah.
Tape measure. I don't know why I said measuring tape. Tape measure.
Both work.
The measure up tape. Boop, 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 boop. Fucking 15 seconds. That magnet is strong.
Yeah.
I picked up a 1900 box the other day from 30 feet in the air. It was great.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you know what that
I
is.
will say, whatever.
It's a 4x4 metal box.
Oh, okay. So I actually, since I've started in automation, I keep both kinds of measuring tapes on me. I have all of my measuring tapes are both imperial and metric, and one has a magnet on it and one does not. So
Why wouldn't you have a magnet on it? Why wouldn't you have a magnet on it?
Well, sometimes I don't need the magnet, and sometimes when it's sticking to everything as I'm trying to measure different things, it gets really annoying. So not having the magnet is actually pretty good.
I think that just comes into learning how to use your tape better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, my tip for this week is construction
magnets.
Workers invest in magnets.
Invest in magnets.
Question for you.
Okay.
What did you think of my video? Did you watch it on the DSP
Which video?
page? On the
Which
DSP
one?
page? The most recent one that I posted yesterday.
The lunchbox.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I did.
I gave you a shout out at the end.
I guess I didn't. I thought I watched the whole thing this morning.
Afternoon.
All right, I'll go.
It's not very long, so yeah. Okay.
I thought I watched the whole thing. Did I not?
I don't know.
All right, quickie time.
My technical abilities.
Oh God. Then I think I probably heard you start saying my technical abilities. Like
no, I didn't. No, you definitely didn't watch it. All right, continue. Let's time for
quickie. You go first. You go first.
Okay.
You go first.
Okay.
I'm thinking of mine off the top of my head this episode.
Okay. All right. What are your top 3 things on your bucket list?
Oh God, power wash my roof in my Speedo.
With or without your neighbors?
With all of my neighbors standing out there watching me in all my glory.
Cheering you on. Yeah, go ahead. Don't slip.
I really don't know.
How about you give me one thing from your bucket list? Not even like top whatever. Just give me one.
I don't have a bucket list.
Oh, really?
One of the top things on my bucket list is not to live long enough where I start to regret it.
Okay.
Like once I hit 70, put a pillow over my face.
All right. Noted.
How about you?
I want to drive across Canada and like camp out, and like I want to drive all the way across. That's probably my top thing on my bucket list.
How many days would that take you?
Shut up. I would do it sightseeing, and I'd like to take like 2 months to do it, like stretch it out kind of thing.
Okay. So one of my bucket list things would probably be like when we have kids to take them to Disney World.
Oh my God. That would be so much fun.
Yeah. Just spoil the ever-loving shit out of them. And then when we get home, treat them like shit.
As usual. Yeah. Go back to normal, right?
A little slap and tickle. Okay. So first question. Let me ruminate. Where would you rather get banged? In the elbow or in the knee?
Definitely elbow.
Really?
I have really bad knees. Yeah.
Oh, Andy, it's a family program.
Is it though?
No.
No, it's definitely not.
No.
Okay. Evan, what never fails to make you laugh?
Oh God, what never fails to make me laugh? Robin Williams.
Oh, that's a good one.
Robin Williams stand-up, Robin Williams movies, a good fart.
Specifically from Robin Williams?
No, from me.
In general. From you?
From me. Yeah. Yeah. Or when I fart when me and Emma are on the couch together and it's a silent one and I think I got away with it. And then she goes, "Oh God, did you fart?" And I'm like, "No." She goes, "Really?" And I just start giggling. Yeah. How about you? What makes you laugh?
Special guy. Well, you pretty much. And I really it makes me think, when I think about things that always makes me laugh, it makes me think of that Simpsons episode where they're like trying to put the movie in, and the movie that wins, this man gets hit in groin with football.
Oh yes. And
that always will make me laugh.
A good nut shot video always tickles my pickle. All right, question number two. If you had to eat a dog, what condiment would you use to mask the flavor?
I'm gonna choose hot dog.
Nope.
Yes.
4-legged animal, woof woof.
I would never.
Cooked medium well. What you had to.
Never.
Gun to your head, end of the world is on the line. What condiment do you use?
Mustard.
You're so weird.
What would you use?
Ketchup.
You're so weird. All right.
Oh, all right.
You ready? Question number 3. If I was at your house, what would you make me for dinner?
Pancakes with maple syrup, because you're a damn dirty Canadian. No. I'd probably do.
Don't say dog.
Woof. You wouldn't know until you ate it.
I need more mustard.
Probably do chicken cutlets and home fries.
All right.
Yeah, it's my specialty. I do gluten-free breaded chicken baked with Italian seasoning, and then I do like these bomb-ass home fries with like Old Bay and garlic salt.
Ooh, that sounds good. I think I'd make you, Katie, like craft dinner. It's like macaroni and cheese, but it's like Canadian, like specifically Canadian, and I make bomb mac and cheese with like cut up hot dogs in it. I'm not really much of a cook, but it's really good.
Tell.
Yeah.
Adam does most of the cooking.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, surprisingly, same thing here.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Okay.
Oh God, I really should have thought of these earlier or looked them up.
To be fair, usually you do.
I always do.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one. Ready? So, you know the account World of Electricians, and there's World of Carpentry, and there's probably a World of Plumbers or whatever. What is the weirdest world of that you could make up?
What are those guys that clean out porta potties? That'd be a weird one. World of sanitation. I don't think I could get
World of suck and dump.
Oh, I did not enjoy that. But yeah, that would suck. That's my answer.
That's your answer. Here's a fun one. Okay. World of OBGYN hobbyists.
No, because that's just you.
Who says? Any guy who's got a rubber glove and a turkey baster is an at-home OBGYN hobbyist.
Ugh, and probably a creep simultaneously.
Turkey's done. Yeah, I don't know. That'd probably be it. Or world of I'll sit on this couch and do nothing, and I damn well please.
Still you.
Still me. Yeah, I don't know.
Careful, don't throw your back out.
Does it have to be a specific job?
I don't know. It was your question.
Well, you didn't accept my first answer.
I accepted it. I hated it, but I accepted it.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have here on Delta Sparks Pod. Make sure to check out our new account at World of At Home OBGYN Hobbyists. As always, I'm Evan. That's Shooter McGavin. We will catch you next week. And as always, be yourself. Be yourself. Sterilize your turkey baster between uses.
Don't be a creep.